Introduce new pricing and programming to the new family memberships. Gear up for spring and come see Valley View Golf Club today.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, that looks good right there. I like that. You did your thing on that, Ron.
Yeah, I like the.
Oh.
Welcome in. New show here, new segment that we're introducing here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio, and that is the Ticket Punchers here reporting to you live. We're going to be coming to you every day here on the Big X, well, Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 6 p.m., giving you all the best sports betting content that you can get in the Kentuckiana area. I'm joined today. I've got a couple of my friends here, some colleagues, ex-colleagues that we're going to be introducing to you all. But, of course, before we get into that, I want to let you all know that we're taking questions, we're taking comments, we're taking concerns, whatever you guys have got, on our Game Day Men's Health text line at 502-414-1450. Game Day Men's Health is redefining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, sexual performance therapy. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. I'm joined today by, as you guys can see, if you're on the YouTube stream via Real Spiel or from the Big X YouTube page, I'm joined today by Curtis Phillips and J.R. Anderson. Curtis was a ex-coworker of mine back when I was doing some sportsbook marketing. We were down at the Louisville games, going down to the UK games, getting people signed up for the different sportsbooks back when Kentucky just went live. So we've been in the betting realm together for a few years now. And then, of course, like I mentioned, J.R. Anderson also joining us here on the airwaves. J.R. was a coworker of mine back when I was at Boost Mobile. Not really, co-worker is kind of a stretch. He was above me. He was the regional representative. He got the company car, driving around town, seeing all the different stores that I worked at for the company, within the company, basically. So, fellas, thank you all so much for being a part of this with me. Thank you all so much for joining today and coming on the show. I want to make sure you guys can hear me well, right?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Thanks
Great.
for having
Got
us.
you guys as well. We should be going on to the airwaves. Let's test that one more time real fast. Let me hear you. Curtis, introduce yourself. Let the listeners know first name, last name, what you get into, your sports betting department of life, and, just a quick little intro for the listeners.
Yeah, so as Roman said, my name is Curtis Phillips. I'm a sports statistician. I go to different football games, volleyball games, basketball games, do play-by-play coverage. Been sports betting for about 4 years now. And I've been sports capping about 3 years. So, been in this industry a little while, built small communities on Instagram, X, TikTok, things of that nature. Also a new father. I have a 6-month-old little boy.
Congratulations on that.
Appreciate that. So yeah, everything's been well, and I'm very excited for the opportunity, and I appreciate you for helping set this up, Roman. So thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. For sure. Love having you on, Curtis. Love to hear that. Curtis goes by Philly Picks as his sports betting, capping moniker. You're on Instagram. You guys are on TikTok. You want to get a part of the everyday picks from Curtis. We call him Philly. He's Philly Picks. So love hearing that. Shout out to Curtis. Like you said, he's been capping for 3 years now. He's got all kinds of experience with the sports betting department. So we're really excited to have Curtis on, get those Philly picks going forward every day here on the Big X. JR, my man, it's good to have you on the airwaves as well. Give the listeners a little intro.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Roman. Same thing with Curtis. Been in the game for about 3 to 4 years now. I'm also a new father of a 10-month-old, and then I have a 4-year-old. But yeah, been in the game for a while now. I was, when we had an idea to kind of do this, I was kind of looking through my platforms, and I just realized that, my lifetime winnings had jumped over 400,000. So, I mean, that's a new accolade for me personally.
Hey.
My goal when I set out was 500,000, and so we're almost there. So, I want to bring some of my wisdom to our listeners and, give you some really good picks each week. So thank you for having us, Roman.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, like I just mentioned, like the guys have just mentioned, JR has been giving picks out for quite some time now. He's got a community on his own personal front. So we're going to incorporate that into the Ticket Puncher show. Curtis has been obviously doing a lot of sports betting. He's a sports statistician as well. So he goes around town, goes around to different cities, getting to see the different live college football games, live college basketball games, getting that real in-depth, in-person analysis on these teams as he's doing his sports statistician and play-by-play calls. So we're going to be able to, have a little bit of fun with that, do a little bit of betting centered around the games that maybe Curtis is calling, the games that I'm getting into as well. And then, of course, we've got our big better JR as well on the show. Fellas, this is going to be an interesting show because we obviously aren't going to be on Mondays. This is a Tuesday through Friday show. We also only your 5:30 to 6. It's a quick show. There's no breaks. It is every day, which is nice. We're going to be able to come on 5:30, not every day, no Mondays, but 4 days a week and give our bets out, recap the night before, the bets that we had, really get into just the realm of betting that we all do personally and get the listeners involved, get our plays out there, let the people know that what we're betting, how we're making our money, and how we go about it. So I'm really excited for that. I do want to kind of talk just more specifically as we are, introducing this show to the listeners, introducing you all specifically to the listeners. I mean, you guys are obviously going to bring your personal groups and families and friends into the listening category of this, but most of the people here know about me. I'll start, though, just in the overall sense of the way I go about betting. I like to straight bet. I also am a parlay guy. I like to, get my straight bets out there with my unit, and then you take a little half unit, small wagers on the parlays for the things that you're feeling, the things I'm super confident about. I put more money on. The things that I'm not as confident about, I put less money on. I like to have fun with betting. I'm not, crazy aspirations, obviously. The potential for those is why we do it. I'm not going to sports bet with the idea of just making pocket money. The idea of making a lot of money with your own knowledge is why we do this. So we do like to do it smart. We do like to keep things. We're not just going to be giving parlays out. I'm wagering crazy things on this. We're going to actually give in-depth analysis on how we go about looking into bets, why we go about looking into those bets, and the results that we get, and kind of just discuss on how we get there. But fellas, I do want to just talk a little bit about the plays that we all get into. Obviously, the listeners know I'm a big NBA guy. I'm a big basketball first guy. My first love is, it's basketball and soccer are kind of 1A and 1B for me. Everything else kind of falls after that in my realm of fandom. So naturally, in my realm of betting, the knowledge is, I can tell you the status on just about every NBA team and who's likes to do what within their rotations and stuff. Obviously, it's different every year now with all these young guys getting incorporated more and more than they used to in the NBA. But I like the basketball guys. That's where I'm at. I like betting the over-unders. I like betting, the player props. We're all pretty big player prop guys, but we're going to be getting a lot of basketball stuff out because this is 3 co-hosts here who all like to get involved with the basketball. Football, we'll get it out as well. I mean, JR, a good chunk of those lifetime earnings we know are from the NFL. So, fellas, let the listeners know. We'll start with you, Curtis. What are your main interests when you like to look in the books? Are you a player prop guy? Are you a team bet prop guy? Are you a game bet? You like betting the over-unders, the money lines, the underdog. I know, Curtis, when we first started betting together, you were big on team props. I'm betting just this team to score over 48 points in the first half of this NCAA basketball game, right? Obviously, we haven't gotten to be in depth as much with our everyday betting up until recently when we finally started getting back incorporated for the intro on this show. But Curtis, JR, let the listeners know what you guys get into the most. What are your go-to bets? What are your favorite leagues to bet in? Curtis, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so similar to you, Roman, pretty much a straight better for the most part. Do parlays for fun. I'll do a couple parlays a week, try to double, triple, quadruple my money. But yeah, typically I'm a straight better. As far as the sports go, MLB, my A, NBA probably right behind that. Those are my top 2, sports. And then college baseball, I'd say, is right behind that. But yeah, as far as MLB, NBA goes, NBA, more of a player prop guy. Tend to not touch a lot of money lines, spreads, things of that in the NBA because, a 30-point lead, could be gone in 2
Nothing
minutes.
nowadays.
So, yeah, exactly. As far as MLB goes, I do like to tackle home run props, but I'm not really a player prop guy. Just more so home runs, and then spreads, money lines, and like you said, I like to tackle a lot of team totals. So maybe not the both teams to score, but maybe one, to put some points on the board. And then, yeah, like I said about college baseball, added that sport to my arsenal, this past year. I did play baseball in high school, so kind of have a little bit of knowledge about that. And then, yeah, when it comes to NFL, college football, not my best sports, but I have, return profit in those as well. So yeah, I'm pretty much an all-around guy.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that. Being all around in the betting room, you kind of have to. If you bet one thing, I feel like it's easy to get tunnel vision.
Sure.
When you're betting just one team, one type of bet, you've kind of got to be able to expand and be able to make money with different routes of betting, because the props you like aren't always the go-to props every night. They're always the most likely things. Primetime football.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receiver 3 is going out for 990 receiving yards. Backup running backs getting 2 rushing touchdowns. That didn't happen last night, but we've seen that already this season in the NFL. So it can be weird with the football, but I love that we're all some all around guys. JR, you've had some, you've started off as a parlay guy. You've kind of wavered a little bit into sports, but what do you go to now?
Yeah. So upon deep diving into the numbers, NFL props, probably my first, second, and third option, to be honest, and then parlays. Once I get outside of props, then I would probably say my second best is definitely NBA. I'm kind of torn. That's the reason I'm breaking it down like this, is because my first biggest ticket was through NFL, but then my second biggest ticket was through NBA. The NFL ticket was for $16,000 parlay, 8 legs, and then for our NBA was $10,500. So it's almost even kill for me. But here lately, I've kind of resorted to just trying to help people learn bankroll management, make money, and just build over time, instead of betting the weekly parlay and losing every week until you do hit a big one once every blue moon. But props first, and then I'll dabble on some parlays as well, and then I'll get into college basketball and football, and then I'll really lock in for college basketball around like March Madness. Those 30 days, you can make a lot of winning bets very easily. So that's kind of where I am with it right now.
Love that. So like we just both have all mentioned here, we're going to be giving a variety of different things out. We're going to be giving player props out. We're going to be giving team props out. Ideally, everything we quote unquote give out in terms of an official prop, we will be keeping an official record of. And ideally, unless we say the word parlay, everything we give and say is in the mindset of it being a straight bet. So
absolutely.
That's why we keep a straight back record. If I give a parlay out, it's individual props on the parlay that goes to my record. If the parlay goes 3 out of 4, that's 3 wins, 1 loss. It's a lost parlay. You didn't make any money there, so that's obvious. But we're gonna get into that. Why the things you parlay? You don't put touchdown things on player prop parlay. If you're gonna parlay, you keep the things basic. Keep them in the same time slots if you can. Straight betting is where the money's at, obviously, because you can build a bankroll up and you're not all out and done when you lose a bet, because you've had some more ready to go. You've won. You've gotten 80% of your money back on every single wager because you've been smart with it. And that's what we're going to be. We're going to be smart. Fellas, like you guys have known, I've been giving bets out officially with a record on the Big X since January, between Mike Rutherford show and between my show. We did get to a 212 and 194 record through September from January, 52.2%. I was sitting at. Unfortunately, we've had a rough start to October. We are sitting at a 7-6 record officially in October. I'm just going to keep that going. I feel obviously you guys are going to start off at a 0-0 record. We're going to have a format as well. We're going to be giving bets out, but we'll have our official, the Philly picks of the day, the JR bet of the day. It may not be every day. We might only have one bet one day. The next day we might have 3. The day after that we might have none. We don't bet things just to bet them. We bet them because we feel like there's something we know and there's something we can take advantage of. So that's kind of where we're at with just the individual aspects of how we're all going to go about betting. Now, in terms of how we're going to go about the show, we're going to do things a little bit differently than some betting shows, because we want to talk. We want to discuss. We want to have a dialogue around the bets that we're taking, but also just the games we're watching. This isn't just a show to sit around. Hey, we're betting this. You go bet it. Go make your money. If you're not, buzz off. That's not what this is going to be about. Yeah. Hey, this is what we're betting. This is what we're going to try to learn through betting. We're going to try to add things. I'm not sports betting and willing to do a sports betting show just to go bet the same exact things for the rest of the time. I see a lot of plus money props being hit in other sports. I want to learn that. We're going to learn how to do a little bit of everything, right? Like we mentioned early in the show, there's some NHL starting tonight. I know like 6 or 7 NHL players. I know the handful of teams that are good and the teams that aren't good, right? I want to know how to take advantage of what I do already know. I want to learn more. I want to learn how to learn through betting. That's an interesting thing that you can learn a lot about sports through betting, just like you take your knowledge of sports and incorporate that within your betting. It's fun to small wager. We'll take a small wager segment of the show. Like, hey guys, this is the for fun $5 play of the day or whatever that may be. When we look into other sports, I like to incorporate a little bit of tennis. Granted, I only know the big names, but when the big names play each other, the odds are lovely. When Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner are going at it, everything is an even line. Absolutely everything. Mm-hmm. Little things like that we're going to get into. Obviously, this is the Ticket Punchers. The Louisville, Kentuckiana, Indiana scene does have a big fighting scene, a little bit of local boxing, right? Not necessarily in terms of actually sports wagers, but we're going to give our picks with boxing and fighting. Not necessarily, hey, we're betting this, we're taking this plus money, but this guy's fighting tonight. If you are a UFC bettor, you are a boxing bettor, we're on this tonight. We're going to get each other's opinions on everything, bounce things off of each other. So it's going to be just a way to discuss all the different types of bets that can be given out and how you go about looking into them. We're going to watch lines. We're going to have fun with it, right? We're also going to take guests. We're going to take guest bets. We're going to have, the listeners prop of the day, the Big X text line bet of the day, all kinds of different things that we're going to be able to incorporate. And it's going to be fun. One of the pluses to using this app, this platform that we've got where we're going to have the audio and visual aspect is we'll be able to show images. We'll be able to show videos. We'll be able to bring people on as special guests right here on the screen with us, get their talk in on the show. So that'll all be exciting going forward. If there's anything you guys want to be discussed, obviously that's going to be a big part of the show as well. On our Game Day Men's Health text line here on the Ticket Punchers chat, get your thoughts in, get your comments in. We're not on X today, fellas, but I am going to incorporate my personal X account so we can get that up on there. JR, we can get yours on there as well with this platform. So we're going to get the word out to everybody that the Ticket Punchers are punching tickets. Fellas, kind of getting into it here. That's a bit of our intro. This Tuesdays are going to be kind of looking like this, where about half the show is spent just talking because there's a whole weekend of sports that we're going to be recapping, and we're going to be talking about the weekend of our lives. You guys, we've got 2 young babies here on the channel with new fathers. Obviously, JR, a father of 2 now, and Curtis, a father of 1, both having new recent young kids. We're going to get fun stories about that. I'm sure you guys are watching sports all the time, and the babies are getting involved on the couch, and we're going to incorporate all the little stories. It's not going to be just betting. We're going to talk about ourselves as well. So, fellas, it is Tuesday. It's the first day of the Ticket Puncher show. It's going to be the first day of the week that we go live each week. We're going to have to talk Monday Night Football. We're going to have to talk Sunday Night Football. We're going to have to talk the Sunday slate and the Saturday football slate on Tuesday every week. And that kind of brings us into the next little segment of the show, and that's what happened last night. It's Tuesday. That means Monday Night Football was on last night. What a weird game. What a weird game.
I just want to say that the Trevor Lawrence fall down play to score a touchdown was absolutely beautiful. That's probably the best play I've seen in a long time. Saying. Yeah.
Why did I see awesome. 3 people locally in my personal circle of life that bet the Trevor Lawrence 2+ touchdowns?
Yeah. Oh my God!
I saw someone played a $50 ticket for the 2 TDs, $26,000 payout.
Oh. Yeah, it was plus 8,000. It was insane.
Yeah, that's just nuts.
He deserved that on his birthday.
Yeah, he did. But Trevor Lawrence 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, just
insane. He has been running over everybody here lately. He's been getting out of there.
Yeah. You would think that they're giving it to Etienne in the red zone, giving him multiple opportunities, but they pass it. And if T-Law sees something he likes, last night he took those running lanes all night. He was also throwing dots, fella.
Yeah. Oh, that one, the BTJ?
The one that Brian Thomas Jr. on the right. That one was crazy. Basket. And then he had another one right after that, the crazy fast throw to the out route to the left side.
Oh,
I mean, it was just back to back. I feel like he had 3 or 4 throws there in that fourth quarter where I'm like, there's only maybe 2 other guys in the league that can make this throw genuinely.
Yeah.
Maybe Matt Stafford, not counting Matt Stafford, just because he can kind of make every throw, but he's kind of washed now. So, which we'll get into as well. But fellas, we've got a lot that we're going to be getting into, but. Did you guys take anything from Monday Night Football? Did you guys have any bets on the line last night? Were you guys able to win any money?
Go ahead, Curtis.
Yeah, so I hit 3 of my 4 bets yesterday. I was on Trevor
Wow, it's a
Lawrence's
hot day
rushing
right there.
yards. Yeah, his rushing yards was at 10.5. I forgot what he
That's
finished with, but it's around, I
super
think it's
low.
50 plus. Yeah, and then I did a ladder with Patrick Mahomes. His passing yards was at 250. So I took the over on that and I laddered it up to 275 plus. I was tempted to do 300 plus. He had cashed that. He averages like 307 passing yards versus that Jags in 5 games. So I was tempted to do 300 plus for like plus 295 around there, but I stayed away. But
Kept
still
it
cashed
safe.
those 3.
Yeah.
Missed on ETN's longest rush, but it was overall a good night for Monday Night Football for me.
Missed that longest rush by what, a yard?
It was actually by like 6 or 7, but
Oh, he had the 16.5. He had the long rush, didn't he?
no, he didn't have a long rush. I had
No, but
over
the prop was a long rush.
Oh yeah, it was over 14.5. His longest was
Yeah.
like 8 or so.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he was killing that going into that game, so I was confident, but it didn't come through. But it's good.
The Mahomes longest rush cashed easily. He
First half.
covered it like 3 different rushes with that longest rush.
Yeah.
He covered his rushing yards easily. I told you guys, I was like, I'm not going to take the rushing yards, but I like the Mahomes rushing yards at 21.5. After he started the season off kind of going crazy with his feet. They tried to start running the ball a little bit more with the running backs. It hadn't worked the last couple games, and in the close game, Mahomes, he's keeping the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the other side of it is that they got their weapons back on the outside with Worthy, and they got Rashid Rice coming out. So it opens the field, so those lanes are there compared to before. I'm sure they were putting probably 6, 7, 8 defenders in the box on them. So
that's exactly what they were doing, trying to make sure that nobody broke loose from behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Fellas, I had the Juju Smith-Schuster 30-plus yards. And
he was close, wasn't he?
He finished with 17. 17 or 18, but he had the third target that he wasn't able to come down with. But it's just funny because 4 receivers in this game outside of Juju finished with 30-plus rushing or receiving yards, of course. The Jags have been susceptible to wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 3s kind of cutting up on them because of the emphasis that you're throwing Travis Hunter on the wide receiver 1, and the other guys are not getting guarded by elite talent, and they've been able to cut up. Unfortunately, Juju wasn't one of those receivers last night. It was Thornton who had the big game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, which in the rotation, I do think Thornton should be getting much more production than what he's getting. Like when he was filling that void of Rice and them, or Worthy and Rice and them being out. Like, dude, he was killing it. I picked him up in fantasy. He scored 26 something points. But now that the normal rotation's back, they're kind of dialing only certain plays up for him. But he's a stud, man. He's a stud. For my 2, I went 2 of 2. I know pregame, me and Curtis was talking. The only one that I had taken was Travis Kelce first quarter over 6.5, which covered in almost his first catch. His first catch, he had 6 yards, and then he ended up, I believe, finishing the first quarter with something around like 3 for 17 yards, something like that. So second play after Patty drove down and scored that touchdown, and there was only, I want to say like a minute 10 left. I took the Jags money line. I just had faith. And so finished up plus 120 coming down the stretch because there was only 50 seconds left. I think they had one timeout maybe.
They were down 4, right?
Yeah.
They
had 4. So the odds were beautiful. But I was like, yeah, he's gonna get this done one way or another. I had faith. A couple flags here and there. The pass interference was kind of but the Chiefs get flags all the time, so it's time.
The Chiefs gave up a penalty there at the end too, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They had a pass interference call half the distance of the goal. So
that get kind of gifted it to him a bit.
But yeah, 2 for 2. Kelce, Jags money line. Kelce was plus 105 and Jags were plus 120. So two double plus odds. I'll take it.
You get the first quarter yards on Kelce there covered for you. Love that. So like JR said, he's going to be giving the quarter player props out for the NFL pretty consistently. We're going to have, obviously a Discord link for after hours. If you missed the show, trying to get the bets in before you're able to watch the podcast, we will have a Discord linked for you to come in and get these plays. We're going to have some things in the future works as well for, obviously you can only give a couple plays out in such little time on the radio, but we're going to be able to have a route for everybody having access to the plays at all times going forward. Fellas, only a couple minutes before we get out of here. I feel like this has been a pretty good introductory show. Tuesdays, like we mentioned, are going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of recapping on Tuesdays just because a full weekend of sports to get into. We obviously didn't do that today, or introducing ourselves, introducing what the show is going to be and look like. But Tuesdays going forward are going to be similar to just a lot of talk, not a lot of numbers. Fellas, before we get out of here, there's obviously not a lot to be looking into in the realm of betting tonight. NHL does open up tonight as well. Blackhawks, Panthers already getting started. Panthers up 2-1 on the Blackhawks. Rangers, Penguins tonight. Kings, Avalanche tonight. I'm staying away. Those lines are too low. I like the under 7.5 typically when we can get those with the over-unders in hockey, just because getting that sometimes that team getting that fourth goal can be tough. But I don't have an official Big X Big Bet to give out for today, unfortunately, just because it's preseason on. WNBA is on tomorrow. We've got the finals on tomorrow. We will have some plays for tomorrow. I'm sure JR might have something up as well. Before we get out of here, though, we do have to ask Philly. There is some MLB on tonight, Philly. You like anything in the late night game?
Yes, I do. So Blue Jays, Yankees play tonight. I like the Blue Jays team total over 3.5. I found the best odds at FanDuel -102. They've cashed this in 6 straight games going back to the regular season. As we know, Blue Jays, Yankees both in the same division. They played 15 times this season. Blue Jays are 11-4 to the over on this prop. Not to mention Carlos Rodon is on the mound today. Both times he pitched against the Blue Jays this season, Blue Jays went over this prop. And let's just say he allows 1 or 2 runs. I believe this Yankees bullpen will fold. They've allowed 14 runs just the last 2 games to this team. So I like Blue Jays to get 4 runs tonight.
I like it. I'm on the Carlos Rodon over 14.5 outs recorded. I think he's going to get well into that 6th inning. I think this is obviously the kind of pitcher that they want to go as long as they possibly can so they can, like Curtis just said, avoid those bullpen issues. We're on the Carlos Rodon over 14.5 outs recorded. That's going to be my official Big X Big Bet. Curtis, is that going to be a first official Big X Big Bet of the Ticket Puncher show?
Yes, it will.
Lock it in. There it is. Over 3.5 on the Toronto Blue Jays team total for tonight going up against the New York Yankees. JR, anything from you tonight that you want to add?
Yeah, I got 2-1 mainly because I think the odds are going to change on this by tomorrow on WNBA Game Time. I love the Aces. Right now they have their odds at +3.5. It's points-wise +3.5 at -104. On both DraftKings and FanDuel. So I think that line is going to end up moving, but they're 2-0 right now in the series. They are at Phoenix, but if you're going to give me 4 points to a 2-0 team, first team, first time on the road, I'm going to take it. So I like that at -104. Vegas Aces +3.5. And then I love BYU money line. I've been watching BYU college football very closely. Even though this is a Saturday game, I do think this line is going to move probably closer to, somewhere between minus or +100. It's right now -126, but Arizona at home, I do think that line is going to move there +105. But I do like BYU. So BYU -126 for the money line at Arizona, and then Las Vegas Aces.
All right. I love that.
Lock it in there.
Lock it in. Like he said, Aces tomorrow. That line will be subject to change. That's why he's giving it out on a Tuesday for a Wednesday game. Yeah. Also, the odds on a Saturday game. So we're going to follow these odds. That is going to be another aspect of the show, giving bets out early in the week, seeing how those lines shift going on forward in the week based on whatever happens. But, fellas, this is going to wrap us up here on the Ticket Puncher Show. Thank you all to the listeners. Shout out to the Big X letting us do this and be a part of the channel going forward. But like, comment, subscribe if you like it. We'll be back tomorrow. 5:30 to 6 right here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio.
Let's punch some tickets.
Punch some tickets, yeah.
Just a few examples of the professional.
All right, fellas.
Local 502.
Nice job.
Good talk.
Great. Went great. We went over like 2 minutes. Luckily, there's 6 o'clock. There's not really much going on usually, but we got to get out of here by 5:56. So I got to start that outro a little bit sooner going forward. But
okay.
We're also still live right now, so we got to get out of here. But talk to you guys here later on tonight.
All right.
All right. Yes, sir.